Hello, and you're very welcome to our Sunday Games special this afternoon, live from Ennis, the meeting of Clare and Cork in the Munster Football Championship. Well, it's been a remarkable 12 months for the footballers of Clare, but now they must put their provincial title on the line against the 1989 and 1990 All-Ireland champions Cork. Well, now, before we go to Ennis, let me just remind you that our regular Sunday game programme goes on air at its usual time later on tonight, 8 o'clock here on Network 2. Now, that programme will feature the All-Ireland hurling champions Kilkenny against Offaly, and also Down and Derry in the Ulster Football Championships. And those games and the rest of the day's top championship matches just finishing up around about now. We're going to give you some results in the next 30 seconds or so. If you don't want to hear any results, look away for the next few seconds, turn down the sound on your television, because here comes the results right now. Starting with the Connacht Football Championship, Galway 111, Leitrim 112, a 1-point win for Leitrim in Tuam this afternoon. And the Ulster Championship, that senior football replay between Cavan and Monaghan, Cavan 2-8, Monaghan 3-10, a win for Monaghan in that replay there. And in the Leinster Championship, the senior hurling quarter-final, Kilkenny, the All-Ireland champions, 2-10, Offaly 14 points. But right now, it's time for us to go live to Ennis, where there's a packed house to see if the Clare footballers can repeat the achievement of the hurlers of last Sunday. And amongst that capacity crowd in Ennis is our match commentator Ger Canning, and he's talking to match commenter Martin Carney.
As you say, Michael, it's a packed house indeed. Welcome to Cusack Park in Ennis for this first round championship match that certainly has captured the imagination of football fans, not just here in Munster, but right across the land. And conditions, well, very windy, but it has dried out. And we had the toss just a couple of minutes ago here, and the two captains, Jerry Kelly for Clare on the left-hand side, Mick McCarthy for Cork, and Clare won the toss, and they've opted to play with the wind at their backs for the first half, which is sensible in the circumstances. They come in here as defending champions, and they don't want Cork to build up an early lead, which they would have to eat into during what would be a taxing second half, surely. The referee is Paddy Russell. As we take a look now at the Clare team, and 11 members of this side started last year's Munster final that finally changed the shape of championship football. Newcomers are goalkeeper Carol Walsh, wing back John Enright, midfielder Pat Murray, and Martin Daly against the nod for one of the most hotly contested spots on the team that have left corner forward. And there's Jerry Kelly, the team captain, coming into Jojo Ruwine's position. Ruwine forced out of the match with a broken leg, and also his brother Brendan as well, missing the match because of a hand injury. By comparison with the Cork team that went under to Kerry last year, there are just 9 who hold a place on this team. The newcomers are nearly all championship debutants and include Mark Farn at right corner back, Kieran O'Sullivan just outside him, Brian O'Donovan the centre fielder, Don Davis at left half forward, and Colin Corkery top of the left. But Mark O'Connor the fullback, well, he's got some limited experience at this level in the past. In all, 9 West Cork men represented in the Cork team and 12 West Clare men in the Clare side. Great buzz of anticipation. Clare fans outnumbering Cork people here. I would estimate at least 4-1. We understand that Cork even returned some tickets, and there was also a story about a train being cancelled because of a lack of interest. People stayed at home, wanted to watch it on TV, it appears. Paddy Russell from Tipperary, the man in charge. With me, Martin Carney, to add expertise to this commentary. And Martin, They play with the wind in the first half, the Munster champions, Clare. Sensible, you would think?
Yes, very sensible, Ger. I think they need to have about an 8 or 9 point lead at half time. And already, Ger, actually, there are a number of switches in the Clare team in the wing-back positions.
Well, the marking alignments we'll tell you about in a minute as Tom Morrissey belts it down towards Colm Clancy. Mark O'Connor get out there first. Ball touched on the ground, free into Clare. Tony Davis picking himself off the ground, and so Clare have the chance to go in front straight away with Jerry Killeen, one of the Doonbeg men, coming up to kick this inside the 45-metre line. John Kearns encouraging his fellow defenders, so this is a very good chance for Clare to go in front. It would be a big boost for them, and over it goes, the first point of the match, a free scored by Jerry Killeen.
A very important score, that, Ger. It's very important for Jerry Killeen's sake to settle the team. A miss there would have created a confidence crisis, I think, with the Clare team at this early stage. A very, very important score.
Well, selector Noel Welsh was just telling me before this, it's very important that we beat Cork today. We beat Kerry last year, broke the mould, but we'll go the whole hog this year if we can beat the former All-Ireland champions, Cork. Pat Murray fisting it down for Clare. All Clare so far, as you'd expect in these opening minute or so. The wind is very, very severe indeed. It's blowing down towards the Tulla Road end. And the referee going across, having a quick consultation with his linesman over there, Ray Maloney.
It seemed to me that the ball should have been going the other way. It appeared to me that that should have been a Clare line ball.
Well, the decision goes Cork's way. There's Barry Coffey. Just waiting a couple of seconds. Midfielder Brian O'Donovan there.
Already too, there are a couple of changes in the Cork defence. Niall Cahalan has gone out the centre half back to follow Colm Clancy, and Ger McInerney has gone in full forward, or Francis McInerney has gone in full forward.
So both teams ringing the changes. Cork not in any particular hurry. Don Davis now stepping into the breach. Two Davis is playing in this Cork team today. Corkery transferring it nicely to Teddy McCarthy into space. Back it comes again from Joe Kavanagh. Cork trying to keep the point of the attack going. Flat ball, however, easily mopped up there at the back. A high challenge there by Brian O'Donovan. That wasn't a tackle. It was a foul, and the referee's notebook is out, and O'Donovan is going to have his name taken for that high challenge there.
It's a high challenge, but I think at the same time, Brian Donovan a little bit unfortunate. I don't think it looked as bad as it was, or was as bad as it looked actually.
So Brian O'Donovan from O'Donovan Rossa, the All-Ireland club champions, booked for that foul. He moves back into midfield, where he's lining up alongside Teddy McCarthy. Kick being taken there by Kieran O'Mahony. Jerry Kelly belting it through the centre. Barry Coffey out there challenged Frankie Griffin, the number 5. Coffey again trying to get some leeway. That's well picked up here, and Clare on their way again. Nice ball forward. Martin Daly trying to hone in on goal here. Good situation this, and he's put it over the bar, and there might even have been a goal there for the taking. He'll be happy enough with a second Clare point, but they really opened up the Cork backline that time with a razor-sharp attack, full of pace.
Very good score. I must say, Martin Daly, there's a lot depending on him. He had scored 6 goals and 24 points in the National League. He's far and away their top scorer.
Change of boot, it appears here.
Kieran Corkery, I think, is getting a boot change for Billy Morgan.
Billy Morgan, the Cork team manager out there, just ensuring that everything is right. But Cork, would remind you, playing against the wind in the first half, and they're in no particular hurry to rush this game along. Kieran O'Sullivan there from Oran in the Beara Peninsula. And Paddy Russell, I think hurry it up, lads.
Yeah, I think the situations with boots might be a little bit difficult. It was very, very wet earlier on, and I think a lot of players might have had very long studs in. But for the last half hour, the wind has dried the pitch considerably, and I would say that he possibly does need a change of boots.
The Cork backline now back to its original formation as Kieran O'Sullivan is back with the right studs. Pat Murray fists that one on. Colm Clancy has moved out, as we were saying earlier, out around centre forward. Ball touched on the ground, and that's going to be a free to Cork. Clare in front, in case you've joined us late. A point by Martin Daly, another from a free by Jerry Killeen. Kieran O'Sullivan is one of the newcomers to this Cork team. Teddy McCarthy trading passes with him. Now Colin Corkery, that will depend on him this afternoon. It's Teddy McCarthy moving it forward. Mick McCarthy looking for support, getting it from Barry Coffey, trying to go around there, the cover of Frankie Griffin. Clare breaking out with it once again. Good clearance. Big huge roar of approval from the Cusack Park crowd as Niall Cahalane is held. Niall, who had surgery on a knee cartilage problem just 19 days ago, as Jerry Kelly holds up his man being Joe Kavanagh.
Cork are playing a very short game into the wind. It's a type of a game that suits them, and they're being very effective in that style of game already.
Good shoulder there. Tony Davis getting the ball in, but Carol Walsh last line of defence. Son of the selector Noel Walsh. Stephen O'Brien operating at centre half back. Colin Clancy, his man this afternoon. Niall Cahalane knocking it forward. Corkery letting it drop down there. It's taken away out of defence by John Enright. Baby John as is known. Corey Conway playing a roaming kind of game. Mark O'Connor left his man behind, his man just now being Francis McInerney. And Cahalane once again judiciously using the fist forward to Colin Corkery, but the wind sweeping the ball out over the sideline. Willie O'Mahony, the linesman on this near side. It's just about a capacity crowd here, which represents crowd figures of about 22,000. Corey Conway. Cahalane just standing back, shoulder coming in there well from John Davis. And they're trying to invite him into overholding, that he did, fell down on the ball. John Maughan, the team manager, has been so successful with this Clare side over the last number of years. There was an All-Ireland B success the year before last, with the big one, the Munster Championship win last year against Kerry. Tony Davis pleading with his players that he needs a bit of movement. It's Brian O'Donovan who knocks it back to him, and again the short passing movement employed by Cork into the breeze. Frankie Griffin belting it down into space. Francis McInerney coming out for the head, and it's Martin Daly looking for another score. It's high, it looks on its way, and it's over the bar.
It's a very, very good score from Martin Daly again. He seems to be the prime danger man, and the two chances he has got, he's taken them very well.
It's probably no secret, Martin, that he hadn't been playing all that well in recent times, and his place was in jeopardy, but he looks like he wants to show everybody just what he can do this afternoon.
He had a particularly impressive game against Clare in the under-20, or against Cork in the under-21 championship. He scored 1-6.
McCarthy having to adjust his positioning somewhat because the breeze was blowing the ball all over the place. Tom Morrissey being spoken to by the referee and penalised 13 metres. Tom, you feel, is well hyped up for this game. It's a big occasion for him. He had such a successful year last season. Nice ball inside towards Joe Kavanagh. Joe against Jerry Kelly. Kelly fouling.
That's the second occasion actually that Jerry Kelly has fouled Joe Kavanagh.
So Kelly then conceding this free kick to Cork. And Colin Corkery is always coming up to take it. This one I would estimate about 38 metres out. Wind into his face. It's gone to the left. Cork's first wide. Clare still holding the aces and the 3 points.
It was a pretty difficult kick into the wind though for Kieran Corkery, and it was his first kick of the day.
Curling away in the breeze, as you say there, Martin. Carol Walsh's kick out. Tony Davis blocking it down to his brother Don. Nice ball inside to McCarthy. Back again to Don Davis. Aidan Maloney standing his ground there. No foul, the referee decides. This time it's John Enright coming in. In Paddy Russell's view, he impeded the Cork player. And so it's Colin Corkery once again. This roughly the same distance, a more favourable angle, however.
It's much more central.
9 minutes gone in the first half. Colin Corkery judging it much better this time, and Cork get their first point through the shooting skills of Colin Corkery, the Nemo Rangers player.
I think it's significant that in the last 3 attacks that Cork have had, they have managed to get the Clare defence to foul them, and it could be a very, very costly thing.
Billy Morgan there, Shay Fahy alongside him. Got a glimpse also of Dr. Con Murphy. Well, they'll be happy if they can keep it tight and frustrate Clare in the opening 35 minutes. Meanwhile, Colm Clancy down towards Francis McInerney, a push by Mark O'Connor. Remember the winners here to play Kerry in the semi-finals of the Munster Championship. Ironically, Clare, who wanted the open draw and got it back in 1990, were they to hold on to their title, they would have to beat Cork, Kerry, and that would only qualify them for a Munster final place. Jerry Killeen again to kick, this time dropping it short, fisted on, and stopped on the line by John Kearns, who didn't know much about it. That was a very near thing indeed. Clare very nearly getting the opening goal of this match.
It's a wonderfully instinctive save by John Kearns, because the free kick was badly hit by Jerry Killeen, and he did very, very, very well to get a knee to it, I think.
A hand, a knee, and he kept it out. And now his defence under all kinds of pressure. Noel Roach here, such a great servant of Clare football down the years. Pádraig Conway on a tight angle, stopped by Kieran O'Sullivan. Ball won back there, and it's Niall Cahalan. And again Cork working the ball out of defence with short passes. Teddy McCarthy belting it outside to the wing. Barry Coffey there against Frankie Griffin. John Kearns will be very pleased with that stop. Frankie Griffin kicking it, invitingly in towards Conway. Mark O'Connor saying, leave it to me.
That clearance from Mark O'Connor is an indication of how strong the wind is.
All the way, Tom, all the way.
So it's something of a lottery, this contest this afternoon, because of the elements here. The sun just making a welcome appearance as Tom Morrissey's kick goes high, and it's gone over the bar. That's a wonderful kick by Tom Morrissey from Cura Clare.
That'll do his confidence the world of good.
Well, of course, he needs to win the midfield battle, as we watch John Maughan here in conversation.
Come on out, Tom.
And it's been difficult for Morrissey and Murray at midfield, because Cork are not playing the kind of game that would suit these two. The long ball down the centre.
Clare have adopted a tactic so far of breaking everything in the middle of the park.
This is Pat Murray breaking it down here to John Enright. Outside again towards Martin Daly. Mark Farr keeping him off the ball, and it's Barry Coffey belted down towards Mick McCarthy on the 45-metre line. Oh, lost there by Brian O'Donovan. Good relieving clearance. McInerney there on the sideline, getting support from the official as well, clapping him on. It's still McInerney. This is cut out by Niall Cahalan, away towards Tony Davis. 13 minutes of the first half gone. It's 4 points to 1 in Clare's favour. Don Davis threading it back to Cahalan again. Goes over Pat Murray's head, on towards Joe Kavanagh, looking for a colleague. Straight away spotting the Corkery, got away and well away from Seamus Clancy. Clancy trying to pin a tackle on him now. Still Corkery. Oh, it's a goal!
That is an absolutely wonderful goal from Kieran Corkery. He took on Seamus Clancy, his strength on him passed, and he rattled the back of the net with it.
Just 13 minutes gone and the sides are level. Cork built up from the back with measured passes, and you'll hardly find a better goal than that one. The little pocket of resistance from Cork fans saluting this goal by Corkery. Clancy was slow to close him down, but what about this for a rasping shot? That was a brilliant goal by any stretch of the imagination.
The strength that he got in Australian rules football certainly showed there.
He went to Australia and played rules football there straight after his minor days. So now Clare trying to win the battle at midfield. That's Kieran O'Mahony switching from the position he was selected in left corner back to play right. Noel Roach just checking, then going and collecting this ball. It's important now that Clare tag over as many points as they can with the elements at their back. It's Pádraig Conway. Back it goes towards Clancy. McInerney not exactly going anywhere. Back to Murray it goes. The Cork backs grouping well, forcing Clare into mistakes, you felt, and then the referee's whistle sounded for a foul there on Pat Murray.
There's tremendous grouping by the Cork defence there and getting it in numbers on top of the Clare attack. That attack went from the 21-yard line right out to 60 yards. Very good defensive work by Cork.
Jerry Killeen will hope to kick this a little better than the last one. Outside the 45-metre line. Well kicked. Nicely over the bar from Jerry Killeen. That's the second point for him now. And Clare go back in front again.
They needed that score just to regain a little bit of confidence after that goal.
It was a very important kick, and John Maughan, I think, saluting it there.
Again, just at the moment, there's very little catching at midfield. Tom Morrissey seems to be employing a tactic of breaking the ball down to his forwards.
John Kearns trying to pick someone out. Well chased back that time by Tom Morrissey, almost colliding with our ground camera. Mark O'Connor under pressure. Cahalane trying to link up with Tony Davis, pressurised by two Clare men. One of them was Noel Roach, good half block that time. Recovered by John Enright. Baby John trying to feed it forward, he was being dragged. That's going to be a free to Clare.
Clare may have a problem with place kicks from this side of the field. Up to now, Jojo Ruine has come up from the back line to take all kicks on the right-hand side of the field. But it seems that Jerry Killeen is going to have a go at it at any rate.
So an advantage of 13 metres awarded to Clare as Cork didn't retreat properly. So it's Jerry Killeen again to take this kick. Over his side, leading by a point. Again drops short, and now Cahalane fetching it. And that's one they could certainly have done with. They need to build up a bit of a gap before half-time. Enright, miskicking.
That's a disappointing wide after that little bit of pressure. And again, just to repeat that the Clare team up to now has relied on all his kicks from the right-hand side by Jojo Ruine, and his injury has left him with a little bit of problem in that area.
Both sides indeed depleted by injuries. Cork have lost a lot of players. But considering the small footballing population in Clare, the loss of Ruine and his brother, that's a very big loss. Stephen O'Brien here. Kieran O'Sullivan under considerable pressure. Doing well. Slip at the most inappropriate moment by Mick McCarthy. Clare get the free kick, and Aidan Maloney who takes it quickly. O'Sullivan drifting back. Jerry Kelly knocking that ball but too far over the heads of the full forward line.
Probably the Clare full forward line are pushing out that little bit too far. With that wind behind them, I think they ought to be playing a little bit deeper. The wind is considerable, and they really want to be hugging the end line, I think, a little bit more than they are.
It's very much going to be a battle of survival this afternoon. Good kick by John Kearns. Fisted away by Pat Murray for Clare. Francis McInerney, he was pushed in the back by Mark O'Connor, the referee decides. You'll gather by Mark's demeanour that he's not exactly in agreement with that judgment.
Mark's not too pleased at all with that, and I think myself he may have a certain justification in being aggrieved that time. A little bit unlucky, I think.
It's Jerry Killeen again. Place kicking so important in senior inter-county championship fair. This time he gets the range. A third point, 3 from 5 his figures kicking so far, and you'll see Clare 2 points to the good.
Certainly John Kearns is in no rush for the kick out, trying to waste up as much time as possible with the kicks, because they will have the advantage of that very strong wind in the second half.
It's funny, in recent weeks we've had so many big matches spoiled by wind. Pat Murray, very good catch. That's just about the best so far at midfield. Getting support. Jerry Kelly, left-footed, way down towards Francis McInerney, who's doing well against Mark O'Connor. The challenge there on Tony Davis. Mark Farr. Barry Coffey trying to pick it up, but it's Clare men there in great numbers. It goes high up into the sky. O'Connor doing better this time against Francis McInerney. Outside now to Teddy McCarthy, fed forward again. Tony Davis did well to hold that. Stephen O'Brien. Good burst out of the centre of the field by Kieran O'Sullivan. John Cleary now, haven't seen too much of him so far. against Kieran O'Mahony. 20 metres out, easily taken by Carol Walsh. Played some club football in the Cork County Championship with UCC. Colin Corkery going well around Tom Morrissey, but leaving the ball behind to the other midfielder, Pat Murray, jersey pulled.
Kieran O'Sullivan has made two tremendous forays into the Clare defence and set up two great attacks there in the last couple of minutes.
Another 13-metre penalty there as Mark O'Connor wins the race for possession, settling in a bit better now, Mark. Seamus Clancy, great catch. Very strong player. He's been hampered by injury in the last few weeks. Mark Farr tipping it away expertly. Oh, might have been touched on the ground there, and the referee signalling that it's going to be a free kick, which Noel Roach is in a hurry to take. Brian O'Donovan was the Cork player lying on the ground. A little bit of slack marking now. It's a good-looking kick, but tailing at the end towards the left, and it goes wide.
Some of the quality of ball that's gone into the Clare forward line, I think, is a little bit kind of suspect. They want to be playing the ball in short or lower and faster rather than kind of kicking them in so high.
Great catch again by Pat Murray. Knocked down brilliantly. Mark O'Connor under some pressure. That ball picked up by John Enright for Clare. Getting support here. Morrissey trying to sell a dummy. Trying to go by Teddy McCarthy. He does so successfully as he takes that ball. Good shoulder. And John Enright kicking it over the bar. That's a lovely passage of play there. And John Enright coming up to kick his first point, increasing Clare's lead. But there was some great confident play there with Tom Morrissey very much involved in the whole lot of it.
Yes, the best work score of the game so far. A tremendous bit of interplay between Tom Morrissey and John Enright. And the left half back came up and scored a delightful point. I see that Cork already are warming up Shea Fahy, so there might be a little bit concerned about their midfield.
Shea Fahy, who's been really hampered by injury over the last few weeks building up to this. Cork team without Larry Tompkins and so many other great stars. Kieran O'Sullivan. And that ball.
The linesman on the far side is having a difficult time deciding which way he's going to give his sideline kicks.
Seemed to go off Noel Roach, I have to say, from here. But it's Cahalan who's back there minding the house. Teddy McCarthy, who won that National Hurling League medal in Thurles last weekend. Stephen O'Brien. Jerry Killeen putting in a despairing challenge. Again, it's Kieran O'Sullivan. Great ball by Kieran O'Sullivan, picking out Barry Coffey. Again, they try to steal inside here and make some headway on the left flank of Clare's attack. Ball held up there by John Cleary. Clancy beaten. And again, it's the strong figure of Corkery coming into the breach to kick it over the bar.
That's the second time that Corkery has taken on Seamus Clancy and beaten him. And that, mind you, is a cause of concern to the Clare team, because Seamus Clancy is the inspirational player they have in their team. And to see him being put under a bit of pressure is a little bit disconcerting from a Clare point of view.
Corkery's scoring it, as you say, and he's scored all of Cork's scores, a goal and 2 points now. And Shea Fahy is coming on. And the player going off appears to be Brian O'Donovan, replaced after nearly 24 minutes. So Fahy coming into midfield. Disappointing day for young Brian O'Donovan on his championship debut. Carol Walsh kicking, Tony Davis punching, and it's Teddy McCarthy tapping it back to Shea Fahy. Straight away he's in the thick of the action. McCarthy again, Don Davis. 7 points to 1-2 the position. 24 minutes gone in the first half. Mick McCarthy then linking up with Barry Coffey again. He was very much involved in the build-up to the last score, but can't make it himself this time. Cork's second wide. Clare with 3 wides from this match so far.
The short play that Cork are adopting at the moment is very, very impressive into the wind.
John Enright switched across from the start to right half back. Niall Cahalan picking up a lot of loose ball that's coming his way by expert positioning. Kieran O'Sullivan, one of the West Cork men, to Cathal Corkery, one of the Nemo Rangers players. That's Noel Roach there trying to put in the challenge and hold up the progress of Kieran O'Sullivan, but he fouls him.
Kieran O'Sullivan has a very, very impressive first half so far. He has set up 3 or 4 very good attacks from there, and he's certainly giving Noel Roach quite a torrid time. And again, Noel Roach is a person that the Clare team are looking to for a very good display.
O'Sullivan towards Colin Corkery. Again, Seamus Clancy not looking 100% fit by any manner of means, watching as Joe Kavanagh taps it over, and there's only a point between the teams. Cork, playing against a very stiff breeze, will be very happy with this at half time.
As the ball comes in there, we can see Joe Kavanagh very, very quickly into the break, and a delightful left-footed kick over the bar. Again, Joe is a member of the 1991 successful minor team, playing very well.
Carol Walsh's kick, getting great distance. Tom Morrissey trying to fist it on, but it's Kieran O'Sullivan inevitably again. Another great defence-splitting pass. Colin Corkery is having a great match. Back to Mick McCarthy for Cork, drilling it low towards John Cleary. This could be dangerous, and it's over the bar. The sides are level. Cleary's first point, a lovely score. Again, a beautiful ball forward by Kieran O'Sullivan, who's causing so many problems.
A wonderful ball again from Kieran O'Sullivan, and a delightful bit of interpassing. A beautiful pass from Mick McCarthy to John Cleary, and an excellent finish. I think John's a little bit disappointed he didn't put it lower.
Well, Clare were saying last weekend when we were here that they were very worried about Cork because they were being so quiet. There was so little written or spoken about them in the build-up, and here they are level. And the second half to come with the elements very much in their favour. Don Davis holding it up to Teddy McCarthy. That's a long punt ahead. Corkery, players calling for it. McCarthy again. Well, they're making little at times of this Clare defence. Barry Coffey. Seamus Clancy there in some trouble and some holding.
Yes, it's a good decision. Barry, I think, in fairness to him, lacked a little bit of support that time. Teddy got hit, I think, late in the tackle and wasn't able to give him the support he required.
Scoring chances so far. Cork have scored 5 from 9. That's including 1 goal, of course. Clare 7 from 11 chances. O'Sullivan belting it in. That's Kieran O'Sullivan. Touchdown by Colin Cork to Mick McCarthy. And Cork have gone in front.
Again, the inevitable Kieran Corkery got that ball, put it back to Mick McCarthy, who put it beautifully over the bar with his left foot. Kieran Corkery is certainly creating an awful lot of trouble in for the Clare defence. There's the kick again by Mick, a delightfully judged left-footed kick.
It's early stages in the contest, Martin, but the Munster champions are in real trouble.
They're in real trouble in their half-forward line and around middle of the field. Cork are picking up all the breaks, and there's a great catch by Shea Fahy.
Excellent catch by Fahy, trying to get away now from the attentions of Colin Clancy. Frankie Griffin. They'll be expecting a storming second half from him and from the rest of the defence to try and hold on to their title. That half-time talk will be well worth listening to as Francis McNerney turns it outside to Noel Roach for Clare. Clare looking for a score, and then the ball fouled, and it's going to be a free out for Cork.
I think it's significant there that Noel Roach hadn't got the confidence to take a shot himself. In the entire National League he only scored, I think, 2 points in his 9 games, and he seems to have a little bit of problem with his right hamstring, the way he's walking at the moment. There
was an injury, in fact, which he picked up here last Sunday night when they had a final trial match, A versus B, and he got injured in that, and they were a little worried about his health during the week. Incidentally, during that A versus B game, the B team wore red jerseys. Was that psychological, I wonder? It's Barry Coffey. He's got plenty of support. They're really making the Clare defence look rather a pale shadow of the side that we saw last year, as Shea Fahy hit that one in his first chance at a score. Cork's third wide, same as Clare.
It's significant that the Clare team are getting forward in numbers from the middle of the field. The Cork team are getting forward in numbers. And mind you, the Clare defence at the moment is under considerable pressure.
Clare needing the ball here, but instead it breaks down towards Joe Kavanagh. Confident player. Noel Roach trying to force him off the ball. Nicely forward. John Cleary. Again, the flight of the ball awkward for the defenders and forwards to try and judge because of the very strong wind. Aidan Maloney trying to belt that ball out of defence. Last year he was one of the midfielders for Clare. On it goes towards Martin Conway, hasn't scored so far. And a real disappointment there for Martin Daly. Just losing his footing completely. Stephen O'Brien, fouled by Jerry Killeen, and stamped on. The arm was stamped. There was a little bit of frustration and annoyance by Killeen, and the referee with the notebook out. He's already booked one player, Cork's Brian O'Donovan, who's now been replaced.
Yes, as Jerry Killeen comes into Stephen O'Brien, Stephen is fouled obviously, and Jerry a little bit silly in going down with the knee in the back of his head. I don't think he did any harm to him, but at the same time it's just I think a sign of his frustration at the moment, and possibly could have done without doing it.
Clare need the scores badly with the wind at their backs and 5 minutes to go to half time. They can't afford to concede any more to Cork before half time, you feel, if they're to be in with a real chance of winning this tie. It'll just give you some indication of this very severe breeze. Held by Shea Fahy. Excellent skill towards Mick McCarthy, and it's the fullback who's out strongly once again, John Enright. Corey Conway having to go back to forage, but he's way back from his left corner forward position. Nice ball forward. Mark O'Connor under some trouble, but it was the forward who was backing in on top of him, and the referee awards the free out to Cork.
Well, I think it was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Francis McInerney was pushing him, Mark O'Connor was shoving him, and gave it a free out.
It's certainly one that's very difficult to judge.
Very, very hard.
John Kearns again getting good length into it. Tom Morrissey hoping to break it down. Noel Roach hoping to prop it, but it's Stephen O'Brien is in there for Cork. Tony Davis now taking it out of that rock of players, still making headway over the head there of the cornerback Kieran O'Malley. Aidan Maloney. Good ball forward. It's fisted away by Niall Cahalane to Shea Fahy. Fahy, who made his debut against Limerick back in 1987. Was in the championship, of course. Tony Davis inside. Teddy McCarthy kicking high away to the right-hand side. Breeze holding up the ball's progress. It's Barry Coffey. Plenty of players to support him if he needs it, but he's misplaced that pass. Clare just trying to come away with the ball anyway at all. It's all a bit raw and a little unnerving for the Clare supporters. Not the greatest spectacle, I'm sure, that you've ever seen in a championship match by any manner of means.
Football a little scrappy there, and in fact I think that part of the ground is probably the wettest part of maybe contributed somewhat to that.
Well, in keeping with conditions right around the country, it was very, very wet here this morning. Ray Maloney with 2 minutes to go to half time, and it's Jerry Kelly jumping there with Barry Coffey. Something to the referee's attention. Paddy Russell just having a word or two. Kieran O'Malley, the player he was talking to. Again, it all looks very scrappy indeed. Tom Morrissey wants to take the kick quickly. Referee whistling him back, however.
Yes. Inspirational catch that by Tom Morrissey. I think the referee felt he took it free from far up the field.
Well, it's something we were highlighting yesterday in Sports Stadium. And Kieran O'Malley is going to take the kick. Lots of Clare people giving lots of vote of support, and they're going to need it. It's Shea Fahy winning the ball at midfield. Francis McInerney now has come back out into his chosen position on the 40. Meanwhile, it's Teddy McCarthy making headway. Nobody coming into challenge just yet. Mick McCarthy away to his left-hand side. There's also support from John Cleary. Kicking virtually unchallenged, and he puts it over the bar. About 3,000 or 4,000 Cork fans here to salute that score. A second point, and Cork leading by 2 points, close to half-time.
That was a wonderful pass in the first place from Shea Fahy to Teddy McCarthy. Teddy then made it 2-1. It's a delightful point eventually by John Cleary, but I think the initial pass from Shea Fahy to Teddy McCarthy was a tremendous piece of vision on Shea's part.
One of the Clare players just in front of their own goalmouth in need of attention. Aidan Maloney, it appears, yes. Lee Morgan will be very pleased with that substitution, with Shea Fahy doing so well in the midfield for Cork.
The experienced Cork players at the moment, Shea Fahy, Teddy McCarthy, Tony Davis, Niall Cahalon, are all performing admirably. Certainly there have a huge amount of work to do, remedial work to do, if they want to get into this game in the second half.
As you'll gather, the Clare selectors are having a quick confab before going into the dressing room, considering switches, maybe changes as well. They'll be playing into the wind for the second half. Aidan Maloney back on his feet again, doesn't look 100% by any manner of means.
He looks as if he has a dead leg, and that's something actually that might kind of get worse as the game goes on. Got a knee in the front of the thigh that time.
So now we're playing time added on for injuries. Colin Corkery against Seamus Clancy has won that duel completely. Teddy McCarthy trying to keep the movement going, getting by Jerry Kelly. Barry Coffey coming in, high challenge, not a fair shoulder to shoulder. Barry Coffey goes down.
I think Barry was a little, or the Clare defence was a little bit unlucky there. I think there was as much charging as anything else there. Good pass from Teddy up to Barry Coffey, who comes through. Fairness, I thought that Aidan Maloney did every effort to tackle him fairly.
Referee awarding the free kick. Joe Kavanagh standing over it. He scored 5 points against Kerry in last year's Munster Championship. Cork, remember, haven't won a Munster Championship match for the last 2 years. Clare considering switches, you'll see here, but that'll be probably in the second half now. As that ball is kicked, it's gone to the left, it's gone wide.
It's significant actually that time that Joe Kavanagh took the free. I think Colin Corkery is in a little bit of trouble with a leg injury, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he doesn't appear for the second half.
Well, it would certainly be a big loss. Likewise, Aidan Maloney with that dead leg you were talking about earlier. Carol Walsh kicking out. 2 minutes of injury time having been played. It's 1-6 for Cork, 9 points, 7 points for Clare. Don Davis winning it back. Noel Roach now trying to hold it up, trying to get something moving for this Clare team. Needing a bit of inspiration. Frankie Griffin might be able to apply it. Griffin taking the kick. In there over the head of Mark Farr. The goalkeeper coming out quickly, and the breeze blowing it on away from Martin Daly. Half-time whistle has sounded at Cusack Park. Cork played into the wind for the first half. They trailed by about 3 points at one stage, but then came back with a magnificent goal by Colin Corkery after 13 minutes, and that goal set up the Cork team, with Shea Fahy introduced at half-time, or introduced in midfield I should say, and at half-time it's Cork who lead by 2 points. Half-time score, Cork 1 goal and 6 points, Clare 7 points. And that's where we're going to take a short break from Ennis. We'll be back in a couple of minutes' time.
World news. Earlier today, a force, alias the Sprite, escaped from a can of a well-known popular drink. This is the Sprite on the rampage in Egypt. New York will never be the same again. And this was Venice yesterday. This is Venice today.
I'm telling you, nobody's safe, man.
We'll keep you posted. This is Brad Bradley, GCTV.
Hey, honey, the Sprite sure is one mean dude.
The who, honey?
Forget it.
It's the lemon and lime that gives
Sprite is right.
Next week is Clean Up Ireland Week. It's our chance to show we care about our country, to take pride in ourselves and the way we live. We'll all profit from a cleaner country, so support clean-up activities in your area and make a clean sweep of it next week during Clean Up Ireland Week.
Spot the ball and win tickets to the All-Ireland Finals at Croke Park for 10 years. Details on special packs of Country Pride.
Some people find that traditional indigestion tablets leave a chalky, gritty taste in their mouth. New Remigel are different. You'll find they're soft, chewy and minty. Remigel dissolves smoothly, work quickly and effectively to help soothe away indigestion. New Remigel. They're chewy, not chalky.
Loughnane and Company Solicitors, Courthouse View, Ennis and Main Street, Scariff, County Clare. For personal attention to your legal requirements, Loughnane and Company, County Clare.
Dulux Weather Shield, the smooth exterior wall paint. Tough enough to withstand constant driving rain. Tough enough to survive sleet, snow and ice. Tough enough to meet the searing challenge of the sun. Dulux Weather Shield. Don't risk anything less.
We had to give the nod to B&I's new look ferries to Britain. Up on deck, there's new restaurants, club class and motorist lounges with a warm Irish welcome that'll keep any family happy. As for me, I'm quite happy where I am, thank you. Call B&I line or your travel agent.
Which hot water cylinder scores best? The one with the 80mm lagging jacket will give the whole family hot water right through the day. So will the one without. The one with the lagging jacket will also air your clothes. So will the one without. Nothing in it so far, but the one with the lagging jacket cuts the cost of hot water by up to £2 a week. Lagging jackets are around £8 at ESB shops and electrical dealers.
Get the most from electricity.
Go on, splash out.
Agus fáilte over ash go dtí Ennis gundi an Clare tá an phleá nua ar siúl an deireadh seachtain áirithe seo chomh maith leis an gcluiche Cork agus an Clare. We're in the Old Ground Hotel here, and this particular group of musicians come from Leeds. One man always prepared for a bar of a tune, Roddy McMahon.
Where in my early childhood I oftentimes have been, I thought I heard a murmur, I think I hear it still. 'Tis that little stream of water at the cross of Stansell Hill.
And you'll recognise this man, I'm sure, Brown O'Doyle of Cayley House.
On the 23rd of June, the day before the fair, sure heir and sons and daughters, they all assembled there. The young, the old, the brave and the bold came there to sport and kill. What a curious combination at the fair of Stansell Hill. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Yes, part of the lively and exciting setting, which is Ennis all this weekend. That was filmed earlier. Former President Hillary here doesn't look too happy at half-time. You can't exactly blame him. Behold Mar there in the background. In that first half, it's interesting that playing against the breeze, Cork created more chances than Clare. We estimate that they created 13 chances in all, and they scored on 7 occasions. That includes, of course, the goal by Colin Corkery. Clare, by comparison, had 11 chances, and they come back out in the second half. And I wonder what Aidan O'Keefe, who we saw warming up, be brought on. Here he is. O'Keefe is in. So we'll just wait to see who has gone off. It looks like Noel Roach, and we're watching the goal again here, I think, from the first half. That long ball through the centre. Joe Kavanagh holding it up. What a great ball forward. You see Clancy staying way back for him, a bit slow to close him down, but I don't think Clancy is 100% fit. But that was a great goal. Clare are back out. Noel Roach has not returned for the second half. He was carrying the injury into the game, so he's gone. And it's Aidan O'Keefe, number 20, from Kilfenora, who replaces him. But Martin Carney, we were just saying, this Clare side really in considerable trouble.
They've it all in front. They have an awful lot of work to do if they're to win this game. I think first of all, Noel Roach is going to be a considerable loss to them. He seemed to be carrying an injury in the first half, but the type of game they require in the second half demands his style of play, which is a hard-running, short-passing style of game, and that basically is his forte, as distinct from scoring. And he is going to be a considerable loss. I think the biggest problem they have, though, is they're not picking up the breaking ball around the middle of the field. Cork are forced into every one of the breaks.
You were impressed, I know, with Kieran O'Sullivan from Oran, the right half back in the first half.
I thought his distribution up to Colin Corkery in the corner was of the highest order, and for a player making his championship debut on a player of Noel Roach's experience, I must say he has done very well so far. The quality of his distribution is what has impressed me mainly.
There are 35 minutes still to go in this first round Munster Championship match. Colin Corkery, a goal and 2 points out of Cork's tally of a goal and 6.
I think Frankie Griffin, I noticed, has gone in centre half back, and Ger Kelly has come out to the wing for the second half.
So a number of switches being made by Clare, who now play against the wind.
I think also the rain is imminent, Ger, and I think the wind is actually gathering.
Second half gets underway. Shea Fahy unable to hold on to it. Here's the aforementioned Frankie Griffin, now operating at centre half back on Joe Kavanagh. Nice ball to Martin Daly, held it well against Mark Farr. Teddy McCarthy, poor ball, gives it straight away to Jerry Kelly. Tony Davis supporting a Cork full back line that at times hasn't exactly looked rock solid. They've been well supported by Niall Cahalan at all stages of this match. Teddy McCarthy. McCarthy lets it sail over his head, and it's Aidan Maloney who collects. I'm sure John Maughan will have said to them, you are the Munster champions, you've got 35 minutes in which to stay in this championship. Jerry Kelly forced into overholding by Colin Corkery. Cork at the free kick.
Yes, and it's from Joe Kavanagh's kicking side, actually, from the right-hand side. So with the wind behind him, he ought to be pretty confident of putting this over the bar.
Young player from the Nemo Rangers club. So far he's had one free, missed that one. Wind assisting him. This is a bit better, but will it sneak inside?
No, it just tailed off the very, very last second.
It's difficult for both teams, even playing with the wind. You have to learn to trust the breeze somewhat.
It'll be interesting to see what tactic Cork employ, whether they will be breaking the ball forward into their full forward line from the kickouts or not.
Carol Walsh making good headway with his kick out. It's fisted in there by Shea Fahy. Kieran O'Mahony now trying to take it out, despite the attentions there of John Cleary, and there was overcarrying again.
I think he's very unlucky in that case. I think he was being pulled a little bit.
It looked like he was being fouled, yes. Kieran operating on the right-hand side of the Clare full back line in spite of the number 4. Colin Corkery takes over the freeze again. This is just outside the 45-metre line. Well within his range, knocked over confidently by a very confident player.
That's an excellent score again from Colin Corkery, and considering that he seems to be limping from about the 15th minute, it makes the score all the more commendable.
John Mahon a little bit crestfallen at this stage, his side needing a break or two. Teddy McCarthy fisting it back towards John Cleary. Kieran O'Mahony there snapping at his heels, trying to get possession. Tom Morrissey having his jersey pulled, taking the free kick himself. There's Cork Conway. He's started to roam again in the second half, and Cahalane has it. Shea Fahy calling for it, dropping to his knees, then recovering. Players in support all about him. Not the most accurate pass.
He was put under plenty of pressure there by the Clare attack. As a consequence, put it out over the sideline.
Jerry Kelly kicking, good ball. Mark O'Connor out there, first time for it. Fell. Free kick to Cork.
Yes, Colin Clancy that time caught him all right with the foot. And yes, the trip all right came from, I think, Colin Clancy. He deserved his free out.
Joe Kavanagh knocked forward to Don Davis. Dropping away to the right-hand side. Cork's 6th wide of the match.
Yeah, one of the things that Cork might fall into the trap of trying is kicking the ball from far too far out, and as a result maybe accumulating a lot of wides. Their natural game is to play the ball short, and I think even with the wind they should be doing a little bit more in their attack rather than going from very long range kicks.
McMurray put under pressure by Shea Fahy, knocked down to Teddy McCarthy on the 45-metre line, and he drills it over the bar.
That was a much better one, all right. I think that's contradicting what I said, but it's very, very, very accurate kick. Well done, Teddy.
They're now opening up a gap, which is ominous for Clare. It's been ominous for a long time. Shea Fahy linking up splendidly with his midfield partner, and a good through kick from Teddy McCarthy. Aidan O'Keefe. Clare's being held. It's Mark O'Connor who's holding Colin Clancy.
Yes, I don't think Mark's one bit pleased about that. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he might concede some ground if he doesn't keep his mouth shut.
The free is from about 35 metres out. Paddy Russell, who handled the 1990 All-Ireland football final between Cork and Meath. Aidan O'Keefe shaping up to take this free.
This is a very important kick for Aidan O'Keefe. Left-footed player on his natural side. Be vital for his confidence that he score it.
Looks pretty good, and it's gone over the bar. Important, as you say. Clare's first point of the second half. They need to stay in touch.
Beautifully struck free altogether. Here he comes. What do you think of the left foot? Struck the ball exceptionally well. Beautiful score from Aidan O'Keefe.
It's a score which has roused this big support for Clare here in Cusack Park. John Kern slipping as he kicks the ball out. Caught by O'Keefe, making an instant impact. Conway in the chase for this one with Niall Cahalane. Conway getting there first. Cahalane slow to close him down. Jersey being tugged. Referee's whistle sounding, and Clare get another free. This is a little bit closer. O'Keefe will probably kick it again. The angle a bit tighter.
Yes, Clare getting up a little bit ahead of steam at the moment, and certainly Corey Conway tested Niall Cahalane at that time, and Cahalane definitely was pulling his jersey.
Well, we might be in for a very good second half yet. O'Keefe on a tight angle to put 2 points between the teams. If he can put this one over, he's sent it wide. It remains Cork 1-8, Clare 8 points.
Still, it was from a very, very difficult angle, much more difficult than the last one. And I suppose it would have been a great bonus if he'd have scored it. I think it's significant actually. Niall Cahalane struggled a little bit that time, and we sometimes tend to forget he's only 19 days since a cartilage operation, so he may be suspect as the game goes on just for a little bit of fitness.
Well held by Barry Coffey. Jerry Killeen trying to dispossess him. John Enright drops it down. Don Davis in quickly. Enright taking it away. Clare, as you say, generating a head of steam at this stage, trying to get a bit more life into their attack. O'Keefe belting it forward. Clancy trying to make some headway. Players calling for it all around him. Jersey being tugged, shorts being tugged, it seemed as well. Elbow was in by Francis McInerney. Down goes Cairns, makes a good stop inside his small rectangle. Ball blocked right on the end line and goes wide.
That's good, brave goalkeeping by John Cairns. Very, very brave goalkeeping, because he took quite a tackle in that incident.
Here we see it again.
Jerry Killian coming through, ball broken up by Teddy. John Cairns very bravely in at Pádraig Conway's feet, and then it executes a good clearance out of the way.
Free in fact has been awarded, and Cork have taken it quickly to Joe Kavanagh. Well, this is a bit more like it from the Bannermen, playing with a bit more steel, spirit and commitment. An attempted trip by Tony Davis goes unpunished because Clare had the ball. Again, it's Pat Murray trying to make some headway down that right-hand side. Fouled. Free kick will be to Clare.
Certainly Clare playing in this half with the type of commitment that we expected from them. It was somewhat missing in the first half, and they have opened up the second half very, very impressively indeed. Even though they are still 3 points down, they have certainly come into the game in the last couple of minutes.
If anything, they seem to be shell-shocked by that goal by Cork after 13 minutes and went out a bit after that, but now they're coming back. That's O'Keefe's kick, splendidly in, and it's fetched by Teddy McCarthy, held up, and that's going to be a free out. Great fetch by Teddy McCarthy. It was a wonderful kick indeed by O'Keefe, and only the severity of the breeze, I think, prevented another Clare score.
Well, certainly the height Teddy got up for that one, it would have done justice to Dawson Steltox. Beautiful catch. And out to the side he came, deserves his free.
So Kerrans to take the free. Shea Fahy appeared to be held by Pat Murray, but play goes on. That's fisted away by Mark Farr. Cahalane somehow holding on with one hand. The Iron Man from West Cork is dragged down, gets the free kick. Pádraig Conway, the player who's picking himself off the ground after this challenge to Cahalane.
The breaking ball came in and Niall burst out with it in typical fashion, and in fairness was fouled by Pádraig Conway, deserves his free. Again, he's had a tremendous first half and sweeping behind his defence and playing very, very impressively this half so far. It would be a major blow to Cork if his injury recurred and he got into trouble. Billy Morgan is quite anxious out there at the moment looking at him, but I say he'll be able to resume. A little bit shook looking.
Pat Hanrahan there, and John Maughan together with Donald Clancy and Noel Welch. Donald Clancy, who's the father of Seamus and Colm Clancy. Very proud father, I'm sure, of his 2 lads who starred for Clare last year. Kieran O'Sullivan ready to take this free kick. Cahalane's able to resume. Nice ball through the centre to Colin Corkery. Good distribution to Shea Fahy. Now ready to take that ball back himself. Walsh under it. Very secure. Held it well. Seamus Clancy. That's Jerry Kelly. Kelly playing on the right half position in the switch there with Frankie Griffin at the start of the second half. Away they come again. Martin Daly trying to make a little bit of headway. Held up on the centre of the field. Getting support here now. Griffin. Kicking into the wind. Aidan O'Keefe under, challenged by Tony Davis. Again, players being pulled down. Shea Fahy in this instance, another free kick. Seamus Clancy, his brother Colm having conceded a free at the other end. Now he wins the free on this side. A lot of free kicks. 17 free kicks to Clare. That was the 17th, and there will be 19 free kicks awarded to Cork.
I think the referee's gone over. There has been, I think Mark O'Connor has reacted foolishly there and probably has conceded the line ball. The referee's throwing in the ball instead.
So a throw ball. Pat Murray and Tom Morrissey in there to challenge. It's going to be Morrissey and Shea Fahy in the 12th minute of the second half. It's 1-8 for Cork, 8 points for Clare. Cork have the wind at their backs for the second half. Free has been awarded. Teddy McCarthy was anxious to take it, and there's a 13-metre penalty for not drifting back fast enough. The referee has been implying that rule quite a bit today. Mick McCarthy betting it back there to Don Davis. Little solo run, trying to jink past John Enright. Still Enright putting in the challenges. It's one back there by Pat Murray. Clare trailing by a goal. The Munster champions up against the side that won the double, of course, hurling and football, back in 1990.
They needed that ball to stay in play. Clare, in fairness, are playing with tremendous commitment this half, making it very difficult for Cork. At the same time, though, they need to be getting the odd score when they come up. Just at the moment, I think, too, Don Davis possibly has incurred an injury in that tackle that he made on Pat Murray.
Don very much involved in all of the Cork attacks, and just needing a little bit of attention. Concerned that he might have been concussed, but he's able to take his position once again. It's marked by John Enright from St. Senan's in Kilkee. Colin Corkery got there just ahead of Seamus Clancy, trying to hold up his progress, and he holds on too long. Colin Corkery. Seamus Clancy says, give me the football, we haven't too much time left. Well, they have over 20 minutes still, but they trail by a goal. Again, Frankie Griffin trying to work his way out of defence, pursued by Don Davis. A real cat and mouse type of game. Cork conceding a lot of frees just now, trying to hold up the Clare men. They've really got their dander up, and it's Morrissey coming forward, striding purposefully forward towards the Cork goal. O'Keefe kicking, the wind swirling it away, and all that approach work spoiled by an inaccurate finish. Clare's second wide of the second half, and they're sixth in all.
That was a very clever ball into the middle to Tom Morrissey, and Tom made wonderful ground and should have probably, when he did give up the pass, should have expected more from Aidan O'Keefe. I think the wind, though, in fairness, carries the ball away to the right of the goals and wide. From a Clare point of view,
well, a summation of this half so far would say that Clare are playing better now against the wind, just as Cork did in the first half. And Cork have gone out of it, but there's still a goal to the good. Jerry Killeen knocking it across here towards Aidan O'Keefe. Killeen once again. Oh, there's a player inside there, and he's got it, and it's a goal! And it's Martin Daly who's done it! The wind seemed to hold it up, and the sides are level. 1-8 for Clare, 1-8 for Cork. Just when you thought that one was going to go over the bar, the wind held it up. Daly was in there to collect. He's got a goal and 2 points as well.
Yes, as Aidan O'Keefe was coming forward there, he seemed to lack the confidence to have a go himself. He gave a short ball over to Jerry Killeen, whose kick was half blocked. Martin Daly got to the ball first, and a very, very well taken goal. Low shot underneath John Cairns. Wonderful tonic.
What a transformation. Sides level, and we might now have ourselves a right good match. Joe Kavanagh kicking, and that's gone to the right.
That would have been a very, very significant reply from Cork, with Joe Kavanagh a little bit unlucky with the shot to the right of the goals. But we really have a game on our hands now. That was a tonic goal by Martin Daly. And again, as we have said, he's by far and away their top scorer through the National League.
The kick won back there by Clare, who are showing the greater commitment for the second half, and that is strange because Cork have the breeze and the advantage going in at half time. Cahalane down towards towards Mick McCarthy, fisted away there. Aidan Maloney wanted to stay on his feet. Clare anxious to keep the ball alive at every possible moment, put the pressure on the Cork backs, doing so successfully. High challenge on Francis McInerney, down he goes, and the referee will call the Cork defender across to him. Niall Cahalane is the one.
Yes, I think as the ball came in, Francis McInerney made a clean catch, and Niall simply came in and just caught him around the shoulders, caught him around the neck. Here it comes now, he just pulls him back by the neck. I don't think there's anything really dangerous in it, but at the same time it is a bookable offence. Okay, I don't think he was really hit that time.
Killeen takes the free kick quickly. Now Cahalane is back on his feet again, back there defending. Under pressure from Daly once again. Nice ball inside. Great block down. Expertly blocked down by Stephen O'Brien. Well, just as Francis McInerney and Jerry Killeen were trying to get another goal, that was a superb block by Cork's centre half back Stephen O'Brien.
Wonderful block, wonderful move, great pass from Martin Daly, great block by Stephen O'Brien. Here comes Martin Daly coming through, gives out a great ball to Francis McInerney, who bangs, and a great block.
Colin Corkery, 1-8 for Cork, 1-8 for Clare. Clare, the Munster champions. Kavanagh going through, and Cork are back in front again. A second point by Joe Kavanagh.
Tremendous reply from Joe Kavanagh. A really incisive move into the Clare defence, and struck it beautifully with his left foot and over the bar.
And Cork also preparing to maybe make a change. Liam Honohan, son of Bob Honohan from Bishopstown, maybe coming in, can play midfield. They'll need a bit of extra assistance in there, it seems, as Clare have that ball, and Kieran O'Mahony is anxious to take it quickly.
I think John Cleary did more harm to himself in executing that foul than he did to Kieran O'Mahony. John Cleary seems to be in a bit of trouble after that.
Liam Honohan then with Billy Morgan ready to introduce him. Liam has plenty of experience of playing in National League matches, not in the Championship, however. Kick taken by Frankie Griffin, held there by Mark Farr. Mark getting it back as far as Tony Davis. Aidan O'Keefe trying to put in a challenge, but a despairing one at that. Down to Colin Corkery. There against Seamus Clancy, the flight of the ball and so on, with the wind beating the ball. Clancy takes it quickly. On to Tom Morrissey for Clare. Clare trailing by a point, 1-9 to 1-8. On my watch, about 17 minutes still to go. Referee has a quick word with Teddy McCarthy, indeed more than a quick word. His name is going to go in the little book as well.
Again, the quick line ball that time from Seamus Clancy to Tom Morrissey. Tom takes it on, tries to go past Teddy, and Teddy just drags him to the ground. I suppose he cannot complain.
Mick McCarthy, I think, is the player who's being withdrawn. Teddy McCarthy in a switch is going in full forward. Meanwhile, it's Frankie Griffin taking the free. Out over the near sideline.
A little bit of a waste that. They needed that ball to stay in play.
But it's anybody's match. Colin Corkery beating Seamus Clancy, but there's plenty of support back there. Frankie Griffin now making good headway. Don Davis not putting any kind of decent challenge in. It's John Enright instead for Clare. Nice through the middle. Colin Clancy. Clancy held open by Mark O'Connor. Referee seeing the ball was fixed on the ground and it's going to be a free out.
I think Clare were hoping for a free in there, but I certainly think Mark O'Connor was being held. Here the ball coming in, Colin Clancy misses the ball, Mark gets across in front of him, and certainly Colin Clancy pulled him down, and Cork deserved the free out. Good decision by the referee.
John Kearns will take it. 15 minutes remaining in this live championship match, which you're watching from Cusack Park in Ennis. Good positional play there. O'Mahony giving it to Frankie Griffin. Francis McInerney beaten for it. It's Don Davis, jersey pulled by John Enright. Now Barry Coffey going through a gap there that suddenly opened up for him. Pat Murray trying to pin a challenge, and that's a poor kick. And 8 wide in all. Barry Coffey with this latest one.
Very, very wide kick that by Barry, but in fairness, I think his full forward line are staying very, very far out of the pitch, and he was left with no option but to try a long kick. He had nobody inside him to give it to.
Liam Honohan, as expected, playing at midfield alongside Shay Fahy. This is the aforementioned Shay. Now Barry Coffey, having missed just a little while ago, again having the confidence to pump it in there. Touchdown by John Cleary. Again, it's Seamus Clancy mopping up the loose ball. Players looking a bit tired at this stage in the game. It's a lot of loose marking. Aidan O'Keefe trying to come away from Don Davis. Don kicked the ball away then after the whistle had sounded, and Cork are going to be penalised another 13 metres.
At the moment, Clare seem to have that extra edge and fitness, and mind you, even though Cork are winning by a point at the moment, they're certainly going to have to work to kind of hold on to that. Clare look somewhat the fitter team right now.
All those nights they had in Lahinch on the beach, I'm sure. It's funny, Martin, in the old days, Billy here would have probably been trying to get his team to reach the pitch for the Munster final, peak of fitness against Kerry, but that's all changed with the open draw, of course. Shay Fahy put under pressure, fisted forward by Tom Morrissey. Out it goes from Stephen O'Brien. Now Liam Honohan crossing the 65-metre line. Corey Conway trying to put in a challenge, trying to hold up the point of the attack. It's with Joe Kavanagh. Still Joe Kavanagh trying to get away from about 5 or 6 different Clare men who really grouped well. They're supporting one another much better than they did in the first half. Colin Corkery outside. John Cleary looking up with the post, then going on another little solo into space. Good ball. Honohan was there on mark, closed down now by Pat Murray. Murray and Morrissey chasing, trying to put the pressure, but that's kicked, and it's Kieran O'Sullivan who kicks it over the bar, and Cork lead by 2 points. That was some great play.
The significant kick in that was the beautiful crossfield pass that John Cleary gave to Bob Honohan. And Honohan, when he saw himself crowded out, gave a lovely short pass to Kieran O'Sullivan, who's kicked a delightful point.
Yes, one of the best scores in the match, and a gap opening again. 2 points between the teams. But at this level of football, it's very little indeed, as Liam Honohan has been fouled. Referee saying, back you go. And again, is that John O'Driscoll there, who's been warmed up, can't quite see. Teddy Holland was there as well. Teddy wanting to send his best wishes to Jack Callasey in Bandon, hoping he's enjoying this. Yes, it's John O'Donovan indeed. John O'Driscoll, rather, I should say. Of course, John might be coming on very shortly as Corkery kicks this one wide.
I suppose Cork are quite happy to just kill that ball, put it out of play, give themselves a break for a little bit of a rest. Both teams are looking a little bit tired at the moment. They've played it at a tremendous pace up to now.
On this very windy day, I'm making about 12 minutes to go. Cork 110, Clare 1-8. Carol Walsh kicking from Milton Malbay, fetched by Shea Fahy. Fahy belting it back, wind assisted, and they're really kicking themselves wide at this stage. That's the 10th wide by Cork, and they've had 6 of those in the second half alone.
I'd say Billy is a little bit disappointed that his full forward line are not staying that little bit deeper. A lot of those balls could be contested if the ball was going, if there were a full forward line slightly further in.
Steve Collins there alongside Billy Morgan and Con Murphy as well. Clare have gone out of it a little bit in the last few minutes. Joe Kavanagh, Don Davis inside towards Teddy McCarthy, and there are 3 points between the teams now. Teddy, the new full forward, that's his second point. He picked the point earlier on as well. The point recorded by Paddy Russell, 111 to 1-8.
Here's a very good pass from Joe Kavanagh to Don Davis, and Teddy beautifully turns onto his left foot and strikes it over the bar.
So most of the action now in front of Carol Walsh down there at the Tulla Road end. It was always going to be a very difficult first defence of the title for Clare, but now they have gone 3 points into arrears. Don Davis onto Shea Fahy. A good spell in the game, and Teddy kicking away to the left. For every point they score, they seem to kick a wide as well, but they have had a lot of possession now. And after that early burst in the second half by Clare, they're surrendering the initiative now at this stage of the match.
What is noticeable actually is that Teddy demanded that ball. He's really assuming great responsibility at this critical time of the game.
Honohan outside to Gary Coffey. Pressurised all the while. Jerry Kelly back there, likewise Kieran O'Mahony. And the umpire signals a 45. That's the first in the match.
Yes, again at the moment, Clare just are struggling a little bit again. They've had a wonderful 15 minutes play and possibly deserve to score 1 or 2 more scores. I don't know, they need to, I think, bring in a pair of fresh legs around the middle of the field at the moment to just start getting the ball up the field.
Pat Hanrahan and John Maughan there in consultation. Colin Corkery to kick. From the 45, he's kicked it away to the right-hand side. In terms of goal attempts so far, Cork with 25 goal attempts, Clare with 16. They have converted 9 of the 16 so far. The 9 scores, of course, being a goal and 8 points. The wind really holding up the ball now on Clare's 45-metre line. Shea Fahy trying to go by Francis McInerney. John Cleary belting it in, Teddy McCarthy contesting, but is he in the square before the ball had arrived in there? Free kick has been awarded, free kick to Clare. We have just under 9 minutes left.
Very good decision, I think, by the referee. I think Teddy realised himself he was in the square. He took a little look behind him, and I think the referee properly judged him to be in the square before the ball. The correct decision was given to give a free out.
Rated one of the top officials in the country, also one of the youngest indeed. Teddy Russell, mid-30s. Liam Honohan dominating the exchanges at midfield. They've made a couple of good substitutions during this match. Shea Fahy lifted the game for them at midfield during the first half. Honohan is doing so during the second half. The break of the ball picked up here by John Cleary. Nippy corner forward outside to Colin Corkery. against Seamus Clancy, who's had a fairly torrid afternoon against Corcoran. On towards Don Davis. Davis reacting quickly, pulled down. Is that a penalty? And the referee says yes. I think he just waited a second to see whether there was any break coming Cork's way. John Enright in there at the end of all of that, and this could surely now finish this off. And Clare, if Cork get a goal here, might well be on their way out of the Munster Championship.
Ironic that the ball was mishit by Colin Corkery, and Don Davis was first to the break, and I think the backs just got a rush of blood and ran in and possibly deserved the penalty kick all right.
John Enright and Kieran O'Malley involved. Corkery's going to take it. So Colin Corkery with a goal and 3 points so far. Will he go for a goal here? He rolls it in confidently. A second goal for Colin Corkery with 7 minutes to go, and Cork are 6 points in front.
Yes, indeed, Colin Corkery took that goal nonchalantly, actually just hit it to the right of the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper a little bit unlucky, guessed correctly, but the ball just dribbled along the ground past him.
Oh, Billy will be very relieved there alongside Christy Collins and some of the other selectors. 6 points in front. So can Clare respond? If they're to do so, they'll have to do it instantly. Time ebbing away. Clare needing a goal badly. Ball kicked it in by Francis McInerney. And the player pulled down there is Kieran O'Sullivan, who's covered off like a past master, and John Maughan may read the signs at this stage that it's not looking good at all for his team.
Certainly Clare must score within the next minute or two, and preferably score a goal to keep their Munster Championship hopes alive.
6 minutes still to go. John Enright. Mark Farr has drifted way down to follow forward Conway. Conway conceding the free kick to Cork in the middle of the field. It was something like 52 years since Clare last beat Cork in the championship. Teddy McCarthy against Aidan Maloney. Hand passed inside. Don Davis carrying it away, wasn't able to catch it that time. Colin Corkery taking it up confidently. He's had a fine match. And he underlines that with another point. That's 2 goals and 4 points for Colin Corkery. They expected big things of him. He scored a goal and 5 against Meath in the challenge of Flower Lodge or the New Christie Ring Park last Sunday. But this is the real thing in the championship.
Again, for a championship, for a person playing as David gave in a championship, very, very composed on either foot. Beautifully left-footed score.
Well, we played 30 minutes of the second half, and Clare with only 5 shots at the Cork goal during the second half. Martin Daly trying to generate some excitement for the Clare fans again, but Tom Morrissey fails to hold that one. Mark Farr fouled as he was playing that ball away by Martin Daly to be a free from where the ball lands, and that's in between the 45 and 65 metre lines.
A little bit of frustration, I think, on Martin Daly's part. Probably a needless free to give away at this stage, because possibly Clare need to get all the possession they can get.
Well, the Kerry people, Martin, will be looking at this, wondering how do you think they will estimate the challenge, which will be in Killarney?
Well, I think they have certainly a big game on their hands if it's to be against Cork, and it looks like that at the moment. And I think Cork have the great advantage in the sense that they'll be able to see what weaknesses they have after today's game. I think also they'll have regained the hunger after today, because as you said earlier, Gerard, it's 1990 since the last won a championship game, and I'd say they'll have regenerated their appetite today. And possibly they might have Larry Tompkins back even by that stage.
Aidan O'Keefe, John Enright might have touched it on the ground, but the referee lets him away with it. Tony Davis just trying to challenge and in fact fouls Enright towards Martin Daly. He's looked the best of the Clare forwards by far. Got a goal and 2 points in this match against Niall Cahalan. Jerry Killeen trying to go through the defence somehow, supported by Francis McInerney. Can they get another score? O'Keefe kicks it, but he's kicked it over the bar. It's a goal they needed. They have to be content with the second point by the substitute Aidan O'Keefe. So 2-12 to 1-9.
Yeah, very, very good closing down by the Cork by the Cork defence there. Ball came to Francis McInerney, has to go through 2 or 3 tackles. In fact, Aidan O'Keefe's basically the only opportunity he had really was to take a point there. Did well to score it.
First point from play in the second half for Clare. Got a goal, of course, as well. The Clare Barons silenced us momentarily, but they'll be heard again, I'm sure. Nobody can ever take it away from them. They had a terrific year last year. It's not looking good right now, however. Mark O'Connor. Tom Morrissey can't catch it. Not quite the same player we saw last year. Clancy. Progress held up there by Joe Kavanagh. Racing, take it back from the correct position. Clancy taking it from the hands towards Martin Daly. There against Niall Cahalane. Cahalane just getting a piece of the action. Now Liam Honohan. Aidan Maloney getting some support here from Seamus Clancy. Aidan Maloney limping, I can tell you, as he played that pass to Clancy. Now Jerry Kelly. Cork prepared to harass and harry at every possible opportunity. Force Clare into the error. Conway pushing in the back that time. Play continues. It's with Joe Kavanagh down towards John Cleary. The loose kick away there, penalised by the referee. So I think that it was a foul, and it's going to be a free just outside the 20-metre line. A high challenge, the referee decides here.
Yes, the ball coming through. I thought mind you the defender played the ball that time. He did actually, but maybe a little bit unlucky, maybe dangerous play. A bit unlucky to have conceded the free. So Kavanagh has the chance, I think, to put the insurance point, put the 7th point between them.
2-12 for Cork, 1-9 for Clare. Cork doubling their half-time tally of 1-6. And that's flawlessly put over by Joe Kavanagh. 3 points for the man on the 40. Good left-footed kicker. So as you see, 7 points the gap. Well, the Cork fans, and only a few thousand of them would seem to have made the journey here. They will be very happy on the return to Leeside. The side has come here and confronted the banner and done really well at that. Free quickly taken by Kieran O'Mahony. O'Keefe. Some holding back there. Mark O'Connor penalised quite correctly for holding the centre-forward Colm Clancy. Disappointed Clare faces in the crowd, I'm sure. They have had the lion's share of the support here, but brought right back down to earth, it would appear, after the heights of last year. Team got great support here. They had a fine league campaign, went out to Donegal in the semi-final, and now as we head towards injury time, they have this late free. Kicked over the bar, a 3rd point for Aidan O'Keefe. He's played some football with civil service in Dublin, of course, as well. So 2-13 to 1-10. John Mahon checking the watch. The game is as good as gone from him at this stage.
Certainly, from the Cork point of view, it's a fully merited victory.
As Cork worked really hard in the first half, were rocked for about 15 minutes in the second, but then they've had a very good last 20-minute spell. Mark Farr, Corey Conway trying to dispossess him. Still Farr. From the Dohenies, up here with Stephen O'Brien, who is held.
The Cork defence are quite content now just to hold the ball and to actually get the clear forward line to foul them and take as much time as they can over the free kicks.
From a game point of view, I'm sure the neutrals watching this will have enjoyed it in snatches. A lot of stopping and starting in the game. Listed by Tom Morrissey, but he was leaning up the back of the Cork man. So it's going to be a free against Tom Morrissey's team, with now 1 minute and 15 seconds of injury time having elapsed. Colin Corkery outside the 45-metre line to kick this one. Big stiff breeze supporting Billy Morgan's team. The game as good as won. That's a great kick, beautiful kick. Another wonderful kick by Colin Corkery. The final whistle has sounded. He scored 2 goals and 5 points, a wonderful contribution. Kieran O'Sullivan was also one of their stars. And indeed, when it comes to selection of man of the match, which will be announced later on in the Sunday game tonight, of which of course starts at 8 o'clock, It'll be a tough enough decision. But it's Clare who have lost their Munster Championship, won in dramatic fashion last year. At the first hurdle, they've fallen to Cork by 2-14 to 1 goal and 10. A 7-point winning margin by Cork. And overall, Martin, there can be little doubt about it, Cork were much the better team.
Much the better team, but I must say that the Clare team put it up to them for most of the second half. I think the game was really won and lost in the first half. That goal by Colin Corkery in the 15th minute really was the significant feature of the game. I think the Clare have nothing whatsoever to be disappointed about. They don't deserve our sympathy either. They've been a wonderful advertisement for football over the last 2 years, and they have shown, in fact, that the two monoliths of Gaelic football in Munster can be beaten.
This was the penalty, and it was arrogantly put away, expertly placed by Colin Corkery for his second goal. The Clare goal coming from Martin Daly, tying up the match at that stage. That's when we thought Cork would really have it all to do, but Clare then seemed to lose the initiative. It was regained by Cork, and overall, Cork the better side. It's a match I hope you've enjoyed sharing with us here at Cusack Park in Ennis. The Clare fans go home disappointed, but they're very happy, I'm sure, down by the banks of the Lee. Cork against Kerry in the semi-final of the Munster Championship. Clare are out after their historic win last year. So from Cusack Park here, where we will of course have the Sunday game at 8 o'clock tonight, we'll say good evening to you.